Jackie, congratulations. You've done it again and you're on fire tonight. How good did that feel?
Oh, it felt amazing to be, to put on another performance like that. And we talked earlier, I wasn't too happy with my last performance here at one. So I was definitely happy with this one.
You described your coach, Brian Pope-Joy, as a wizard. What kind of magic has he been teaching you for this one? How much credit does he deserve for that performance?
He deserves it all, honestly. The stuff we've been working isn't completely new. It's all rudimentary stuff that he's instilled in me with just, different little flares here and there. And I trust him. I trust him as my coach, and he really makes the thing easy for me.
Daniela Lopez was a game opponent, but you really were on fire throughout the fight. You didn't put her away, but you must just be loving that performance. What is the emotion like when, you don't put your opponent away, but for 3 rounds, you just look fantastic?
Oh, I mean, I haven't had a knockout yet, but that's the goal soon. I never go into a fight looking for that. I feel like if you go into it looking for a knockout, it's not going to happen. You kind of have to let it happen organically. But I think I won all 3 rounds clearly. So it felt great, having a dominating fight like that.
You've always had fast hands, but they looked lightning tonight. What's gone into that? What kind of preparation? How do you get them that fast?
And there's no secret. It's just a lot of hard work. I can't thank my strength coach, Nick Curson from Speed of Sport. He really does a lot of stuff out of the box that pertains to your sport. So he definitely takes a lot of credit for that. But I mean, besides that, it's just, I've always had speed ever since I started when I was a kid. When I was younger, I kind of use it to a disadvantage. I wouldn't really fully commit to things, but now that I'm older, more practice, it's speed plus power plus precision. It's all tying together now.
When you can smell blood in the water and you know that you're near the finish, how do you make sure that you maintain that focus and up the ante, but you don't let yourself slip and you don't let yourself get caught by anything?
Yeah, it's pretty hard. You get really excited, a bunch of adrenaline rushes through. Just I forget which round I threw a left hook and her head wobbled back, her eyes kind of went back in the head, and I kind of just pressed forward. But my coach Brian's like, take it easy, slow down. He never wants us to run into things recklessly. And at that point, it was clear I was winning the fight, so he didn't want me to run into anything stupid. So he was just, say, take your time, you're fine, focus. So having that voice in the corner definitely helps.
What was it like competing in Singapore Indoor Stadium? Is an amazing venue, but you've got that eerie quietness and you can hear your coaches. What was that like?
This is my third fight. All 3 fights here at one has been pretty much no audience, and I don't mind it at all. I know some athletes, they say they thrive with the audience, which is great and all, but I'm totally fine with no audience. I feel like I could actually really focus and stay present and hear my coach. So I love it.
We have a question coming in from Dylan Bowker of My MMA News.
I'm just curious because, speaking to the broader run and one championship here, because it seems like you've been on some big shows so far, just a history-making one in Power, one on TNT4. Can you speak to that broader journey in one championship? Because it seems like you've gotten to really showcase your skills on some big shows and you've really shown out.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing, especially being on this card, the Empower card, the first all-female card ever. It's truly an honor to be on these big cards. It's, at first it's a little daunting with the pressure, but I just tell myself there's a reason why they selected me to be on these cards, and that just adds on to my confidence as a fighter.
And it seemed like there was a very comprehensive performance, but you kind of seemed like you had the mentioning of the fact you didn't get the finish. Is that just you trying to almost scrutinize it in the sense of okay, what do I improve on next? Or are you ultimately, I guess, proud of the performance overall?
No, I'm super proud about that performance, just because everything we worked for this camp, it came out. And even if that means I didn't knock her out, that's fine, because everything I worked, throughout this camp came out in that fight. And that's what I love about training and fighting, is always learning, trying new things. And when it comes out on the night that it matters, it's just an amazing feeling.
Our next question comes in from Faris of Singapore Strike Sports, who asks, what's next for you?
I already told him multiple times I want the strawweight world title shot. So whoever they want to throw my way, I'm game.
Next, we'll go to Kevin Estrada of Burn Sport Philippines.
You said about the deadly kisser, you have paid tribute to him, and Looks like I just researched his name and the times that he had paid Boxing Works a visit. On those trips to Lawndale, what was your biggest takeaway from him, from Santianoy?
Pretty much just, it goes past fighting. It's just him as a person. He was honestly the sweetest, most down-to-earth person you could ever meet, and just always wanted the best for everyone. And that energy carried on throughout the room and everybody in the room.
It's basically like your debut against Wonder Girl, but minus the knockdown. Dominating display with your hands, those left, right, left combos. You had caught them by surprise. And how are you satisfied right now? And looks like you're gonna be inching closer. And you wanted to beg like who you want to face for the strawweight Muay Thai belt, which is currently vacant.
Yeah, I always have confidence in all my strikes, definitely my hands. And that was pretty much our game plan. We knew she was going to come forward, try to clinch. And my game plan was to take that away from her, take her confidence away. Every time she'd clinch, have her run into things. And that's exactly what I did. And with my third win here, and I think that definitely solidifies me as a top contender for the belt. It's kind of hard to say who would be next in terms of who I could fight for the belt, just because I think I've been the most active, most active fighter in the division, given all the COVID restrictions and stuff. So, I mean, anybody really.
We now go to Nick Atkin of SCMP MMA.
It seems a few people have already asked you about the title shots. So I guess I'll ask you, would you consider, or would you like to perhaps compete in a tournament to determine who is the champion? And, have you had conversations maybe with Chatri about them beefing up this division and signing some girls?
I didn't have any conversations about that with him, but I mean, I love tournaments. I'm a competitive person. I think that'd be an awesome idea. I think it's kind of hard right now to do a tournament in the strawweight division because, like I said, it's still super new and there's still a handful of girls who haven't fought or who haven't fought in a while. So I think a tournament would probably be later down the line, but it's definitely something I'm interested in.
And one's just announced an all kickboxing card for October 15th, first strike. Would you like to see something similar for Muay Thai?
Oh, definitely. One super serious card is always fun to watch.
And I quickly just, I don't know if you were able to see it because she was right after you, but Anissa Meksen made her debut pretty emphatic. A lot of people have been saying she should fight your teammate, Janet Todd. Do you think that would be a good fight?
Yeah, I think it'd be a great fight. And I think regardless whether it happens next week or next year, it's going to happen. So I think that's definitely something people are going to be excited about.
Our next question comes in from Ivan Stewart of Dugout Philippines.
So I saw your match and I saw that despite you putting up some sort of a clinic on Daniela, you failed to knock her out. So were you surprised that Daniela was this resilient, that despite your strikes, you couldn't finish her?
Yeah, she's a super tough girl, just like Wonder Girl, she's very tough. I just think I had the heavier, smarter strikes, and that helped me out. It helped me get the win at the end of the day.
All right, so I believe this is your third match for the year. Do you still have plans to rest for the rest of this, especially that Christmas is nearing?
I'm still young. I'd love to be active, but Christmas is my favorite holiday. I love staying home, being all cozy. But if I get that call, I'll do it. I love fighting.
Ivan Suing from the Daily Tribune asks, there's not much to pick from your fight. It was a near flawless performance. However, for future fights, what adjustments would you like to make? What adjustments might be needed in your game?
I didn't get to watch the fight yet. I'll probably watch that right after this. But just based off what I remember, probably, I don't know. I guess I probably would want to string more kicks together along with my hands because I have a lot of confidence with, like I said, all my strikes. But it's just, when the hands start landing and you see the physical damage it gets on the other girl, it's just hard not to keep doing that same thing.
He also asked, I know you've made it very clear that you want the title shot, but if you don't get it right away, how do you envision your next fight leading up to the title shot while you wait for them to introduce the strawweight belt?
Like I said, my division's still new. There's still a handful of girls who haven't fought. And I'm totally fine having another fight and, you know, fighting one of these girls in order to get that title shot. I'll be patient. But like I said, I came into one championship with my intentions clear on that title shot.
Who's impressed you in the division so far, and who out there has your respect?
I guess it's hard to say just because there's not many girls who fought yet, but I'd love to fight Victoria since she won against Amber. I think that was probably the first strawweight bout in my division. And I'd love to fight Amber again because me and Amber fought when we were amateur fighters, and she actually won that fight. So I'd love to rematch her again on the one championship stage.
I'm not sure if you had an opportunity to follow up with the results because you've been doing interviews, but just out of interest, the audience knows that they can go to onefc.com/vote and actually vote for our semi-finalists in the Grand Prix. So I was just wondering, who would you vote for in the semi-finals? What matchups would you like to see in the Grand Prix?
You know, she's a newcomer, but I was really impressed with her. I saw some of her fights. I think if I say it correctly, Soo-hee from Korea, South Korea. She looked really amazing. So I'd love to see her in the finals.
Brilliant. Jackie, 3 for 3 in one championship. Always incredible to watch you do what you do best. And we can't wait to see you back in the one circle. Thank you.
Thank you so much.